Okay, alrighty, here we are. We're back. And my back is very sore. Oh, hi everyone. I must have slept on it wrong, or twisted, or turned the wrong way, or... I honestly don't know, but my lower left back is very sore today. Ugh. Yeah, even when I'm sitting down. Okay. But you're not here for this. We in fact are all here for the Danganronpa. And something quite insane happened last time. Nagito died. So that was something. And it's I don't think it's tough to have simple thoughts about it, since he was a very complicated character, and it's difficult to think about what to say about him. One thing I'd like to keep in mind going forward is the idea that, and this is something I thought about since the last episode. Well, let's try to unpack what all went down, because last time and the time before that, there were some pretty complex things happening. So all this started with Nagito reading some stuff that Monokuma gave him. Let's be clear about that. And whatever he read, it included Hajime's status as a reserve student and thus a talentless. But something else was in there that changed his attitude toward all the other ultimates. He still acknowledged them as ultimates, but it seemed his mood, it soured his mood in some way. He no longer seemed to look up to them or see them. He seemed to mock the idea that they're meant to be the embodiments of hope, in a sense. And so a very strange turnaround for someone like him. So I don't know what it is he knows. Perhaps something about why we're all here, like how all this started. Like he was told by Monokuma that this was meant to be a murder game, but we know Monokuma hijacked that process, right? So maybe it wasn't originally meant to be that, and he now knows this, and that has changed the way he feels about it. I'm not entirely sure. In any case, with his mood now changed, he seems to have been driven more to end this murder game. At least that's what he said. He claimed he was going to end the murders, and to do that, he would catch the traitor. And I'm not entirely sure how that all relates, because, as we've said time and time again, we do not know who the traitor is or what the traitor wants. But Nagito seemed to believe that if he could reveal the traitor, it would stop the game or stop the murders, I guess. Although I'm sure Monokuma wouldn't allow that, so I'm not sure what I'm not entirely sure I follow Nagito's logic. He must know something. Well, obviously he knows something I don't, but what he knows must be informing his decisions in a way I don't understand. In any case, this strategy of ending the murders by revealing the traitor led to him claiming that there were bombs across the islands, plural, and that he would blow them up if the traitor did not reveal themselves. So very extreme. Obviously, I was a bit skeptical of that, considering how much explosives would be needed. It seemed a bit much, and it turned out that turned out to be the case. He seemed to do like a double bluff thing where he said he doesn't know the traitor's trying to find out, and then he said, oh, I know who the traitor is, and then I don't know if he knows who the traitor is at this point. I don't know. He in the video, he claimed he knew who the traitor was by observing them. I'm not sure I understand that. I mean, he could have, he's a pretty smart guy, all things considered. He may have picked up on something, because I certainly haven't picked up on anything. Now, here's the question that we have to ask ourselves. Was Nagito's death part of the plan or not? And here's what I mean by that. Nagito, well, there's a couple angles this could be coming from, this idea. One angle that I do want to keep in mind is that Nagito has said repeatedly, and we even got his thoughts confirming this, that he was willing to lay down his life to assist a killer in order to, become a stepping stone for hope, essentially. Something like that. So that naturally raises the question, is that what is going on here? Does he know the traitor because the traitor stepped up and then asked him to go through with this? But the problem with that theory is that his attitude towards this whole situation seems to have changed. So I think it's probably less likely now that he actually was working with a killer, since he seemed to want to end that. But again, this is Nagito we're talking about, so he could have been putting on an act. Although the times we see him confronting Monokuma seem to suggest he is being genuine in his new feelings towards this whole situation. So I want to keep the possibility that Nagito was going along with it in mind. But otherwise, it seems that... So here's the next question. Is the killer the traitor? If, it makes me wonder, because the killer was able to preempt Nagito. If Nagito wasn't a part of this, his murder, that is, then the killer was able to remove the fire extinguishing stuff or sabotage them, and they knew where Nagito was going to be. That's some pretty... How did they know that? How were they so far ahead of us, So that's a important question we're going to have to answer. In any case, this is going to be pretty complicated, I feel, this case. Let me pull up my notes. Music playing, fire grenades tampered with, fire extinguishers missing, Nagito faked the bombs, Nagito directed us to the warehouse. We have the things with Sonya going to the military base for some reason. Chiaki's being absent-minded. Monomi's treasure box with pink lights was robbed. We have a code. We never got into the ruin. Okay. Let's continue. Let's see. Let's at least begin trying to figure this out. Eventually, the shock finally registered with me. A numb feeling spread from the center of my brain almost instantly. Nagito is dead? Even when I saw this before me, I wasn't able to comprehend that reality just yet.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, sounds about right.
What?
Are you serious?
Probably not. That's right. It's Nagito. He always messed with us. He always tried to confuse us. That's why I can't believe it. Nagito ended up in such a cruel state. Nagito is dead. Deep down, I believed that when the killings finally ended, I'd never see this guy again. I never expected I'd be looking at Nagito's body like this. Nagito probably thought the same thing. I couldn't help seeing it in his dead, frightened face. But on this island, unbelievably abnormal occurrences happen all the time. Even Nagito couldn't escape that truth. And even something as small as that.
A body has been discovered! Now then, after a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin!
Don't tell me.
Hey!
Yep. Looks
Damn
like
it.
It's like I feel like I should be saying more about Nagito, but there's still so much I don't know. Like, was he Makoto? Because if he was, that's crazy. And I'd feel a lot more terrible if that was the case. There's like so much mystery around him, around what he knew. I need to know more before I know how to react, I'm not sure. I would say probably, yeah. This would be incredibly impressive if it was suicide. Killed.
That's right.
Yeah, it means one of us, like, of the, how many even people are we even at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of the 6 of us standing right here did this. That's crazy. One of us killed Nagito. One of us killed him so brutally. I mean, unless it's... Nagito said that Monokuma was waiting for someone. Is there a stranger now here or something? I don't know. Huh?
Of course! Hey! Hey! Shing! Wait! Damn it! You stupid brother!
Oh, you can't stand it anymore now, huh?
Got it?
Why wouldn't you? Okay, never mind.
Hey, hey! What's this? Like...
It's a good question. Why'd you bring us here?
Please wait! Hey. This is just...
We should have tied him up somewhere, I guess.
Nice!
Don't fuck with me.
This is kind of depressing. Actually...
The end. Is he referring to the clock on the main island? Central Island?
What's the matter?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh wow, really? So this is probably the final case. When that timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what will happen to us.
Hey, you serious?
What are you gonna do? So, it's the Monokuma file!
That's crazy. I mean, there wasn't a time limit in the first game.
Phew.
But of course, it's not going to be that simple. He probably is going to say, oh yeah, the killing game's done at this time, but you know, you'll all die at the end or something.
Do your best. Wait! I won't forgive you.
It'll all depend on the trial, buddy.
But still.
Damn it!
All right! However,
Okie dokie. Yeah, one of us 6. There's a killer among us. Like, right here. The weight of those words began to sink into me. That was true in previous cases, but is it really true this time? No matter how much I tried, I couldn't believe it. Because the victim was Nagito? Because his death was so abnormally cruel? It wasn't just that, there was something more to it than that. And whatever it was stuck inside me. I wonder what Hajime's talking about here. Let's see what we got. £143, goodness. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma Fleshi factory. The estimated time of death believed to be noon sharp. That's when the bombs were about to go off, right? Although the bombs, the supposed bombs, went off prematurely, right? Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds to each of his thighs. Furthermore, there's a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. And on that hand, there's a rope that is cut. What a tragic situation. Just reading this made me depressed. Huh? Again, but what's wrong with it? Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on his thighs. Then there's laceration in his arm, knife in his right hand.
yep.
Don't worry. You're formed conclusions on your own. That makes me more worried than I should be. What is she referring to? Is it not mentioning something? Like him being gagged, or the ropes, or the thing that looks like he was bludgeoned with to the side?
See?
Well, I guess you're right. Then, let's start with the area surrounding Nagito's body. I should start with the back of the warehouse. Since the curtain blocked most of the water, this area wasn't affected by the sprinklers that much. Thanks to that, I can properly investigate Nagito's body. Huh. I never thought I'd have to investigate Nagito's body. Probably didn't expect to end up like this either. Look at this thing.
So just as I thought.
Yeah, you just wanted to beat him up. You didn't want to torture him, did you? What does it matter?
So,
I see. Moon sharp. it was at noon, what were we doing at that time? We were freaking out in the warehouse. No, excuse me, in the factory.
It's time.
So, it also has a clock function. Fresh seems like a bad way to describe it. You're right. Those fake bombs were originally supposed to be to explode at noon.
All right!
Well, that would obviously lead to Sonya. Yeah. But at this point, this being Danganronpa, that doesn't really mean anything. Yeah, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare.
All right! Huh?
Yep. Such is our predicament.
Like... Huh? That's obviously wrong.
Man, that is quite the optimistic way to think about this. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen?
Well, yeah. Hey, hey! Shut up! Shut up!
Hey, there we go.
Damn it!
Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the class trial.
I know. You...
She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling?
Yep.
That's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire.
Well, see?
Oh, I didn't even look up yet. Ah, but you're right. I definitely see it. Looks like a small red line on the ceiling girder.
Perhaps.
Blood. Color definitely looks like blood, but there's no way blood could get up there, right? What if he was strung up with that rope-looking thing that was next to him? Plus it's in a straight line. It's definitely strange. I should remember this. But it'd be weird if he was hung up there, because then he was strung up down here. So where did the time for that to happen? Oh, look at this. Ah, it's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. If the oil lighter was placed here.
Just kidding. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Well? Which means... You are right.
They caused a fire to destroy evidence. That's the only reason I can think of why a killer would set fire to the crime scene, but... What if, instead of destroying evidence, it was to delay our discovery of Nagito? Looks like a bunch of plastic bottles. Remnants of the plastic are scattered all over the place. This is probably... those fire grenades that we used to put out the fire. Well, they weren't actually that useful in the end. The fire was only extinguished thanks to those sprinklers. Well, nevertheless, this evidence really isn't all that strange. Makes me wonder why the sprinklers didn't go off immediately, or more quickly. Monokuma's dead. Oh no. There's blood coming out of his stomach. Hey. He's dead, Jim. Thanks, Monokuma. Is this one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory? You're a stuffed animal too, you know.
What the heck?
Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? And why'd he do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed? That looks more like it got shot to me. Did he try to imitate Nagito's body or something? Where are you getting that idea, Hajime?
What are you saying?
Huh?
You're so evil. What's this? I can't lose.
Seat of world supremacy, huh? Looks like those annoyances are gone. If it was Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done this? If so, is this Nagito's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incident. Me neither. Okay, let's take a look. Never expected Nagito to die like this. He's always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. Even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times where we were only able to reach the truth because of him. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again. No. Now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. See this thing? What if... That looks like it could be wrapped from a girder. Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie Nagito up? They also stabbed his legs? Why would the killer do something like that?
Damn it!
Torture.
Huh?
Which means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so. Damn it!
Oof. Yeah. Why won't you let me click on that thing? A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach. What if it was, is that, what would that, is that a wire or cable? Is that attached to the spear? Would it be too far-fetched to suggest that that was tied up to the girder or something? Like as another threat? And then the killer either let it fall or made it fall or prepped it so that it would fall after a certain amount of time and impale him.
What's this?
Yeah.
Phew.
Oh, we talked about this. When did we talk about this? Is this your first time looking at this too? You definitely just came up with that now.
Hey! Hey!
That's right, yes.
What the hell?
I do remember that because it sounded like such a weird thing. I don't think that's real. But I could be wrong. I just never heard of it. Like something to lasso someone and then stab. Like, I get the lasso part, but having it attached to a spear is the weird part to me. But that could just be my ignorance speaking. Alright, let's focus. Spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight at the end of the cord coming out of the handle. Looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have any blood on it. It's about the size of a human fist. It's strange that this section of cord doesn't have blood on it. Also, Chiaki mentions this earlier, but apparently that spear came from Nezumi Castle. Might be better if I confirm it later. Spear of the Mirror. It's not the first time Monokuma has said that. Cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this wound looks like a slice. That's probably the reason that the wound on his left arm doesn't look like that deep compared to the other wounds. Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound and there's blood everywhere.
Super difficult.
Strange what?
See?
Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it splattered, or maybe he was holding something? Is there something else that seems strange?
Well?
Oh. He was wearing fingerless gloves. Right, why is he holding this part?
See?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, sure, you win. It's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? I didn't know. I stabbed him down to his right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? Milton. Oh, now that you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife.
Well?
Which means after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, he stabbed the knife through his right hand?
It cannot be! How cruel!
Then does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using two weapons, a knife and a spear? But it could have just killed him by stabbing him with a knife. Why did they need to use the spear at all?
You are right.
The reason they had to use the spear, huh? Nothing comes to mind. Burnt rope, you say? Nagito's right wrist is tied with a rope, but it looks like the tip of the rope was burned off. Could this be a result of the fire? That's weird. If the rope burned off like this, why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. Was this to keep Nagito from screaming for help?
This is bad.
Shocky moved past Kazuichi me, squatted down next to Nagito's face. Ooh! In one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off his mouth. Looks more like she cut it in two. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
Hey, hey, hey!
Oof.
Man.
Hey, hey.
Okay. So, as he was being tortured, he was already duct taped.
Well,
Which means Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we should really need to worry about? Well, it's the timing, really. I mean, it's not going to be something like he put himself in this position and then was just found by the killer or something. I don't know.
yep.
Anyway, this might be some kind of clue. I should remember it. Guess I'm done with the air surrounding Naga's body. Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly-looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? Have I become desensitized? My classmates did bodies right in front of me. One of my peers is the killer responsible. And I have to investigate his death so I can find his killer. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. Killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito. There should have been another reason as well. Here's something else that Chiaki's observation brings up. The killer was apparently torturing Nagito for information, right? Or Fuyuhiko said it could be for information or just for torture. I guess this shows that it's less about the information, because if the killer wanted information, they would have had Nagito talking, you know? And yet they kept the duct tape on him throughout the whole ordeal, it seems. So, I guess they weren't that interested in what he had to say. So what was the reason? Yep. Looks like we need to investigate other areas. So where will we investigate? Oh, in here. Bunch of books stacked on top of each other. Apparently they contain something. Not missing much. All CDs, they're all copies of Monaco's music. Should have been burned too. This is weird. The way these are lined up like this. Tipped over Monokuma panels, spelling the curtain. Back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? But why are they scattered like this? Last time I came here, I seem to recall. Should have been neatly put away. Huh?
See?
Oh yeah, Akane, when she tried to open it, felt resistance. So you're saying that we tipped over because of the domino trip effect, and do you think that started the fire? They must have set it up really precise for that. Could it be? Was that it?
Well? Hey.
Yeah, compared to the other tipped over panels, that line is the only one that's neat and orderly.
So...
Strange. That means we can speculate this was done intentionally. This is an MP3 player. There's even a speaker plugged into it. Why is this here?
Maybe...
Yeah, you're right. I don't disagree with that, but why was the killer playing music from this? Don't know. Better than the warehouse burning down to the ground. Good thing we were able to put out the fire.
Hey. You are right.
Nice.
Hey! Of course not!
Say what?
Whoa!
Disgusting.
Hey!
Kazuichi, you should probably just keep your mouth shut already.
Hey!
Yeah, I got you.
Jeez, you're pathetic.
Hey, Sonia, do you have a minute? I want to talk to you about when that fake bomb Nagito set in the warehouse exploded.
Huh?
Yeah, right before it exploded, you said something like this, right? Why did you know the bombs were fake? That's not all either. When we were looking through the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching the central island. Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Where were you, and what were you doing during that time?
Oh my! It cannot be!
Oh my goodness. Sonia.
I am sorry!
Huh?
Well?
Really? So, does that mean when you heard Nagito planted bombs, you got suspicious and went to investigate them?
That is...
And because you were searching for them, you were late when we all gathered?
Please listen!
How'd you find out that the bombs at the military base were fake? What?
I see. However, that the bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display. God damn it all to hell!
I see. So that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake.
And I see a little Monomi there.
I did. As did Monomi as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb. Which means...
Yeah, because that was definitely an explosion. So, Nagito's actions were extremely calculated. But the problem is his reason for doing it.
Do you have a minute?
You're right, I got it. Alright, I pretty much finished looking for clues inside the warehouse. I was able to find some clues, but there's still so many things I don't understand yet.
Hold it.
Yeah, I am.
Well?
I mean, it's good to investigate other places as well. She might be right. There are several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. The military base that Sonia mentioned, the plushie factory next door, Nezumi Castle where the spear originally came from, and Nagito's room too. If I'm going to understand the reason for his actions, I need to know more about him.
Can you hear me?
In response to Chiaki, the others gathered around her.
I see.
Huh?
Yep. See?
Oh, that makes me worried that someone's going to tamper with the evidence here. You don't really need to say that.
Hey!
There's no time for us to stand around. In order to survive, there's no other way except to do it. In order to survive, we need to find Nagito's killer. If we don't sacrifice that person, nobody can survive. That's our reality. That's why there's no time for us to stand around. And I think that's where I'm going to call it today. We had a good amount of time. We got all the initial stuff out of the way. Next time we're going to run around all across this island and see what we can dig up. So, I haven't had any revelations thus far. In any case, I'll see you next time, and hopefully we can start putting these pieces together. So I'll see you then.